Okay, so started in the music business 33 years ago in 1983 as a sales rep for RCA Records. I then progressed on to marketing in 1987 at Virgin, then got my first MD role at Warner's in 1990, moved on to BMG in 92 to be MD of RCA and subsequently president of the music division. In 99-2000 moved to Telstar to 2004, when I then set up my own company JML, and then moved to Warner's in 2009, where I've been for the last 7 years. Well, the one I joined was predominantly a vinyl and cassette business in 1983. Then in 1985 the CD was invented. And then about 20 years later, the digital download appeared in the form of iTunes. And then, of course, recently it's streaming Spotify and Apple Music via the internet. Yeah, I think it's had two effects, one very positive, one negative. I think the positive one is it's allowed a place for bands to put their music and be discovered very easily. And I think on the negative side, it was a place where people could get hold of music for free and not pay for it. And there is actually a third angle, which is it's now the distribution means by which everybody streams their music legally. So 3 elements, one good, one bad, and one actually saving the business at the moment. I think that's the $1 million question, and if I got that right every time, we'd all be a lot more successful than we are at the moment. But I think, again, there are two different sides to this coin. One is the people who we hire in the A&R teams, who use their opinion to sign artists that they think the consumer would like. And the other one is you can now look at internet forums and at social media and at bands who have already put their music up there, and you get some pretty clear indications whether people like it or not. And I think possibly a third angle is the reality television shows, where people perform and the public vote with the red button, and I think that's again a very revealing insight into how people might choose music. So basically you find the band and then you make a contract with them and you get them in. What follows then is really a combination of recording the album, doing photo sessions, making the sleeve, and ending up with an offering, if you like, the first record, which is presented to the public, either in physical form through HMV or through streaming and download services. You then take them out on the road, you tour, you do televisions, you do press, and basically then repeat that process. Again, I think it works in a couple of ways. If the record company has what's called a 360 deal, which means we sign them up not just for recordings but for a share of their live rights and their merchandising, then it's something that is financially very viable for the record company, because we earn a little percentage of the profits they make from playing live. And the other thing is, even if we don't do that, festivals are fantastic exposure. You get in front of anywhere between 50 and 100,000 fans, and particularly with rock acts, it's a very useful way of promoting them. Yes, absolutely. Vinyl sales are doubling every year, but from quite a slow base. But what vinyl does is it gives people a whole new listening experience with some very aesthetically pleasing gear, and a lot of people choose to have quite expensive vinyl turntables, and also it's great for the packaging. So you can make a much bigger, better looking sleeve, 12 by 12, than you can on a tiny CD or even online. Okay, in a record label we have a team of what's called pluggers, i.e. promotion people who do both radio, television and press. On the TV side, obviously we're aiming to get on shows like X Factor and Graham Norton. So the promotion people will go in, meet with the producers of the shows and the bookers, play the artist's records, show them the videos and try and persuade them to get a booking on the show. There's usually one per show on a Norton or X Factor. And it's obviously much easier for a well-known name like Coldplay or Ed Sheeran, and much harder with a new band, but that's why they're called pluggers, because they have to work hard at pushing new bands. I think potentially it's a victim of social media because the younger demographic, say 14 to 18-year-old, are no longer listening to traditional radio. But I think radio exists as a very important discovery point for the older marketplace, and it'll work alongside streaming and all the other social services for quite a while. Okay, I'm going to give you two answers here. One was when I was working with a major label, RCA, and we had a young boy band who clearly had some talent but weren't actually getting anywhere, and they were called Take That. And that was in 1992, and between 92 and 96 we managed to develop them into, I think, the biggest boy band certainly in the world at that time. And the second one was Craig David while I was working at Telstar, because to be able to develop a UK-based talent to 7 million albums worldwide from an independent record label, I think was a phenomenal achievement and a tribute to everyone involved at that time.
David, this is how we do.